Swamin Namaste Natalokabandho Karunya Sindho Patitam Bhavabdho Mamuddharatmiya Kataksha Drishtya Rijvyati Karunya Sudhabhivrishtya Swamin Namaste, Swamin Namaste, Swamin Namaste, Swamin Namaste. Jnanasvarupam Jnanasvarupam Nijabhavayuktam Anandamanandakaram Prasannam Yogindramedhyam Bhavarogavadyam Srimadgurum Nityamaham Namami Srimadgurum Nityamaham Namami Nityaya Satyaya Chidatmakaya Navyaya Bhavyaya Paratparaya Shuddhaya Buddhaya Niranjanaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. My voice has not become better, and as many of you know that I've been suffering from a lot of voice problems, and in between I was a little better. In between means maybe nearly 1 year. But after this viral fever, I find the voice has gone again. And today I find that I'm coughing and coughing. So I was telling somebody that I don't know how today I will talk. So if I get bouts of cough, I will cough. What can be done? So we were discussing tadarthe akhila cheshtitam. That is, I will again say that this is a conversation between the Yogi Prabuddha and King Nimi, where the king has asked, please tell us the disciplines, devotional disciplines by which we can be liberated. And a particular question was this, that please tell us in a very simple manner so that we can grasp it very easily and pursue it also easily. So the Yogi Prabuddha is telling various disciplines. And now we have reached this sloka number 27 of 11th Skandha, 3rd chapter, where Shravanam Kirtanam Dhyanam Hare Radbhuta Karmanaha Janma Karma Gunanam Cha Tadarthe Akhila Cheshtitam. Tadarthe Akhila Cheshtitam. That is, all our work we should dedicate to the Supreme Lord. And we were discussing and seeing, I think I myself felt very, inspired to even to discuss that actually in this life we are always doing work. We get up in the morning and we become active. And night, when the body is tired and it's time to sleep, we just sleep. Otherwise, we are always active. Even if there is no important work to do, we are sitting and the mind is active. So activity is our nature. But then, we just allow our thoughts and even our actions to get scattered. Whatever we do, very rarely we think of God. I think only when we are in a devotional or spiritual pursuit, we are thinking of God. When we are listening or reading, chanting, doing worship, all those times. Otherwise, in our activity, we very rarely remember God. So this word, tadarthe akhila cheshtitam, and in similar, you will find in Bhagavad Gita there are many shlokas where Krishna is telling Arjuna that dedicate your work, offer your work. So to discuss this, we took up this shloka from Bhagavad Gita, yat karoshi, yadashnasi, etc. And we saw that what is this offering? It is said that offer, do samarpana or dedication of your work. What does it mean? So, the simple thing that we understood, and some of you have written to me that it seems so simple to understand with our mind and intelligence, and to be established in this truth that I am God's and God is mine. I belong to God and nothing belongs to me. No ownership is there. Nothing belongs to me and I cannot control anything. These are few sentences. I think the most important one is, I am God's and God is mine. It is a simple sentence and we can always remember it. But as we are seeing by our own introspection, that we remember everything. We remember our name, we remember where we stay, we remember how many siblings we have, we remember the qualifications we have, the possessions we have. We remember everything. Even if you are doing a job on any activity with complete involvement, we know that I have to go back to my home, which is there, which is at a particular place. But we don't remember our own real identity. We don't remember God. So this is something very strange. Whereas this shlokas here, it says, tadarthe akhila cheshtitam, how we will do. We cannot say that offer. So what does it mean? What does it mean and how to remember it? So the mind and intelligence have to be applied. Our life is in this world, and in this world which is made by God, we are here with a body which God has given us. And God has given us this body and the limbs to work, many faculties to work, has given us the senses to perceive, has given us the mind and intelligence. So many things He has given. And with those only we are active. So, we must understand that these things, using which we feel we are active, actually is given by God. We have not created any of them. He is the creator. And that is why it is, whatever we do, it should be for God's sake, for Him. Just like if there is a servant who works for the master, our master is God. And last session from Bhagavad Gita, I referred to 2-3 shlokas where Krishna is telling the magnanimity of God. He says that I am the source of everything. The Supreme is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. That I am the source of everything. From Him alone, everything has emerged. And all are activated also by me. Knowing this, the Buddhaha, the wise people, they know this. And with all their feelings and emotions, they worship him. So this we have to remember. We have to remember this. And we also saw that he is Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tushtiti. He is everywhere. Similarly, he is inside us. This, the supreme power, he is everywhere. He is inside us also. And he is the one, like a machine is the one who has a machine will be making the machine work. So he with his own power, inscrutable power, Maya, he makes everybody whirl around as if in a revolving machine. So there are so many other slokas where Krishna is telling that he is the source. He is everything. From him alone everything has come. So these things we must do swadhyaya. You may remember that this yogi, not only this yogi, everywhere we say that swadhyaya has to be done. The shastras have to be read. And we also have to hear the shastras from the gurus. So this, when we read the scriptures again and again, and we listen about that, then what happens? Who God is, what is his magnanimity, what is his greatness, how noble he is, all his powers, all his excellences, all his attributes come to our mind. And those are such good qualities. We start loving them. That is how we start loving God. So this is what we have to understand, that nothing belongs to me. If nothing belongs to me, then who is making us do all this work? The power by which this whole universe is revolving and going in a very harmonious rhythm. He is also the master of all our activities. And here we were just discussing that when we think like this, that I am God's and God is mine, then what happens? All the ego, I-ness, minus, everything goes away. Ego comes from where? When we think that something is different from me, we want to possess it, we have ego about it, we have clinging towards it. So this I-ness, I have these possessions, and the feeling that all these possessions are mine. So these feelings, when we feel that God alone is and I am a part, when everything is one, who will ask for what? Who will gain what? Who will lose what? Nothing is there. So this thought that God alone is and I am his part, he is mine, I am his, this thought one has to get established into. So how do we get established into it? I was taking this sloka, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhihi and mam eva eshyasi asamshaya. Krishna is giving a promise. There is no doubt, my dear Arjuna, there is no doubt. What is undoubtedly we will be having? Undoubtedly, if we can constantly think about him. Think about what? This thing. That he is the source. He is everywhere. He is, from him, everything has emerged. He sustains everything. Everything will dissolve into him. And I'm a part of him. Not only that, he is the one who is, according to his propelling only, all the things that he has given, whether these are objects or whether it is my body with my limbs, my prana, my senses, my mind, my intelligence, and the objects which are there, with which I am active, All things are given by Him. So how will we remember that? If we remember that, what will happen? Tadarthe akhila cheshtitam. Our work will be an offering to Him. Because nothing belongs to Him. Nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to Him. So whatever we do, even if we do a puja, the flower is actually given by Him. Who has made the flower bloom? He, God, or the Supreme, whatever you call Him. Where into the tree? Where is the tree on the earth? Whose is this earth? God's. So everything that we try to do, we find that it is His things only we are trying to give Him. Already offered. When we have a feeling that I own nothing, the ownership has taken away, the belongingness, the feeling of belonging, I have these belongings, this feeling goes away, then the ahankara goes away, the ego goes away, the mindness goes away, the I-ness goes away. Then already things are offered. But then, where from this, we have to get established into it. I started with this, what, my dear children? I started saying that we forget, we don't remember. Whereas we remember everything. What is my name, what is my weight, what is my height, who all are associated, where I stay, everything I remember. But why is it that I don't remember that I am God's and I am a part of God? He is mine. I don't remember it. So we don't remember because we are not habituated to remember. We have not made it a habit to remember. From the time that we become conscious as a child, we are told this is your name, this is your father, this is your mother, this is the place where you stay. This is the town, the name of the town is this. Even when a small child comes who is going to school, we'll ask first, what is your name? The child will tell the name. Are you going to school? Yes. What is the school's name? He will say. In which class are you? He will say. So we are making the child, from the childhood, we are teaching certain things by which there is an identity which we feel this is my identity. I am this. And as we grow, many things we start acquiring as my identity. Possessions, qualifications, and many other people with whom we are associated, many other things get into our identity. But what our real identity is, has anybody taught us? Since childhood, our parents have not taught. Our teachers have not taught. They themselves do not know maybe. So, it is very natural that we don't remember. Now when we start knowing it, and how are we knowing it? Devanugraha hetukam. By the blessings of God, by God's anugraha, blessings, grace, we are on this path, on the path of spirituality, where three things have merged. The manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, and mahapurusha samshraya. Those who have the benefit or the blessings of the association of a mahapurusha, they are very, very blessed. Even if manushyatvam, the human body is there, and urge for liberation, yearning for liberation is there, one may not have the association of a realized master. If these three things come in together, nothing like that. And all this happened because of God's grace. So now, at a time when we have started on this path of spirituality, we understand that I'm not this body. The body is mine. I'm the soul. I'm the changeless soul. I'm the imperishable soul. I'm the immortal soul, unaffected, fearless soul. I'm not this changeful body. We start understanding, though we know this, that our body is growing. From childhood, we get into youth, then middle age, then a little old age, too old, and disease comes. Ultimately, a person dies. So this changes in the body we know. Body will be having its own changes. Changes in the mind also we know. How the mind was when I was a small child, the mind will be definitely different when the same child becomes a little grown up. When the same child becomes quite old, the intelligence also will change. Lot of depth will come, maturity will come, decision-making faculties will grow. So, mind intelligence also undergo changes along with body. So these are known to us, and we also know that the body will slowly decay and one day the body will die. So this is known. But that actually, my real identity is the changeless soul and not the changeful body, mind and intelligence. We don't know. We come to know when we step into spirituality. Slowly we are told about the soul. Slowly we are told about you are that, you are that, you are that. Be self-seated. In this life so many things will happen, but you can remain self-seated because your nature is changeless. Your nature is unmovable. Your nature is expansion. Your nature is ever effulgent. We come to know that slowly. But how to remember it always? The question comes like that. And all this, in a devotional manner, we say, God is everywhere. As we say, the soul is everywhere, the self is everywhere, God is everywhere. I am God's and He is mine. I am God's means what? I am a part of God. I am filled by God. I am surrounded by God. Everywhere is God. So we have to remember it. Because we have not made a habit to remember, nobody has taught us, nobody has told us. Maybe there are very, very blessed few, the rare few who get this knowledge, who are told to do so in very devotional families, but mostly people are not. But Krishna is saying, telling Arjuna, see, for Arjuna it was a battlefield. He had no time. He has completely become absolutely non-confident, sorrowful, sweating. His mouth has become dried. He has sat down, saying, I will not fight at all. And Krishna is telling. So Krishna is one by one telling him what is Krishna's aim, that he should get up, and whatever his duty he should do. At that point, Arjuna's duty is to fight. And for us also, we have to live in this life, fighting. Not fighting with bows and arrows and swords and all that, but facing various situations in life which we do not want to face. So, to remember this, Krishna is telling Arjuna, this is the actual knowledge that you are the soul. And you must remember me, God. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. You remember me always, every moment. And how will you do it? He says that Mai arpita mano buddhihi mam eva eshasi samshayam. If you can, this anusmarana, this remembrance will be easy if you place your mind and intelligence in me. That is, think about me. What does it mean, think about me? And he says, then you will attain me. Mam eva eshyasi. And he says that asamshayam, undoubtedly, there is no doubt about it, no doubt. So he says that, my arpita mano buddhi, offer your mind and intelligence to me. How? What does it mean, offer your mind and intelligence? Then also, the intelligence has to constantly be introspective. How will it introspect? What I have told you. Introspecting that aham sarvasya prabhavaha. That from that source, the supreme power, everything has emerged. And it is activating everything. That everything is going on in this universe, it is because of him. Because of him. In Bhagavatam, that beautiful sloka is there, when Dhruva says that yo anta pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayat akhila shakti dharasvatamna anyamscha hasta charana shravana tvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. And he says that Dhruva is telling that when he gets the darshan or the vision of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu is standing in front of him. He is doing a stuti, little boy, 5-year-old boy. He is doing this stuti, that, O my Lord, Supreme Lord, you who are Akhilantaratma, you are the Antaratma of every creature, everything. You are inside. And yo antapravishya. And as the Antaratma, you enter every being and make them activated, enlivened. Because you make them enlivened. Yo antapravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam. This little boy was not able to speak. Words were not coming out of his mouth. But when Lord Vishnu, he touched his cheek, he started singing this praise. So he is saying that you are the one who is Akhila Antaratma. It is that inside me, you are my Antaratma, my indweller, my inner self. And being so, you are activating me, enlivening me, all my faculties. Not only my speech, my hands, my feet, my hearing capacity, that I am walking, etc., and my prana, everything has been enlivened by you alone. So I do pranam to you. Do we say like this throughout the day? So many things we plan, so many of our wishes, our plans are fulfilled. Do we ever think and say, Oh my Lord, I bow down to you, you have fulfilled my wish. Because you are there, I know that everything is given by you. Whatever you have given, whatever you have taken away, everything is by your wish alone. We don't say that. But this habit we have to do. So, my arpita mano buddhi, the mind and buddhi has to be offered. And when mind and buddhi is offered, which means that constantly remembering, introspecting and remembering these things, that nothing is permanent, this whole world is changeful, everything just comes and goes. The only changeless one is the soul, the self, Brahman, God, who is inside me, outside me, everywhere, up and above, down. He alone is there. So, how can I claim that anything belongs to me. Because everything He has created. I have not created anything. Even if I think that I have made this, say cook, I have cooked, I feel that I have cooked. What are the items? I have used some raw materials, I've used some vessels, I've used my hands for studying, I've used maybe my mind and buddhi and planned this is the way it should be cooked. But where from those have come? Who has created? Ultimately, if you go to the cause, you will find everything comes from that source. I have not done anything. My hand is not created by me. The ladle with which I am stirring, the element by which it has been made, is from the earth. The earth is created by God. The vegetables or other things, the materials that we have used, all ultimately is from the earth. That is not created by us. So the mind, Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi. See, this is one sentence. It gives a very devotional feeling. What is the devotional feeling? If we keep quiet, there are so many slokas in 12th chapter. This Mayeva mana adhatsva, Mai buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi mayeva, ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Krishna is telling, you fix your mind and intelligence in me. And then what you will definitely reach me. There is no samshaya. Here also he is saying the same thing. So when we read, when we think this, or we just chant this, or just read this, Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, where we suddenly stop. Where is our mind and buddhi now? Where are they offered? They are offered to our family, they are offered to our position, our fame, our prestige, our wealth, how we can preserve them, how we can increase them, what we can do to live comfortably and more comfortable we want to become, more things we want to acquire. Our mind is offered and buddhi is offered only in the family. Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, when we are reading, we are just getting a touch of a divinity. What is God saying? God is saying that offer your mind and buddhi to me. What does it mean? Even if I want, I am not able to. What does it mean? It only means this. Introspect. Think. Go to the cause. Go to the source. And see that everywhere is He. Even for a little while, if you can think that, that is an offering. That is Nitya Yuktata. Nitya Yuktata. That is, we are united with Him. Whatever we do, since we are not always worshipping and doing devotional and spiritual work, we are engaged in very worldly items of work. So, God is saying, or Krishna is saying, here this Tadarthe Akhila Jeshtitam is in the devotional text, that, you need not fear that you are not united with God. Do all your work, thinking of God, dedicating it to Him, you will be connected to Him through everything. And what is further we are trying to understand? Further we are understanding that Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, we have to offer our mind and buddhi to God. The general meaning of Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, what is it? That is, general meaning is, as I was just saying, this word when we read or we hear, we feel that, our mind and buddhi we should be remembering. With the mind we should think of God, and with buddhi we know that God is everywhere. But the true meaning of Mayi Arpita Mano Buddhi is knowing that everything, the body, with everything that the body consists of, grossly, the limbs and all that, and the senses, and inside the mind, buddhi, the life forces, the ego, everything is given by God and God alone. Never make any mistake. Never make any mistake thinking that those belong to me. Are we not thinking? Are we not constantly making a mistake? This is my hand, this is my leg, this is my mind, this is my buddhi. We are constantly thinking that all this belongs to me. This is my. What this sloka is saying, or what this whole thing is telling us, that my dear souls, think like this. Nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to that Supreme Source. So that is Mayi Arpita Mano Buddhi. So what is our everyday sadhana in the midst of activity? In the midst of activity, we have to, so again I am summarizing. My dear children, I think again and again we come back. What is our sadhana? We hear so many things, we gain so much of knowledge from this text, that text. We have known about the self, known about God, and we know what the attributes of Brahman are. We know that. Everything as a knowledge we know. But then, what is our sadhana? What we should do every moment? Again, I am summarizing and telling, my dear children, it is very simple. Govinda Parirambhita. We have to have that divinity feeling always. Whatever we learn, however knowledgeable we are, we have to be established in that divinity. Never fall from divinity. Never fall from that. Constantly remain in that. So keep remembering, I am God's and I belong to God. God is mine. Remember that I am not this body. The body is mine. That is, I have a body. Remove this mistaken identity where we identify ourselves with the body, forgetting that the body is changeless, whereas my real identity is, body is changeful, where my real identity is changeless. And even during work, remember this. So, Mayi Arpita Mano Buddhi, it has to be applied when we are in activity even. Say a driver is driving a car. A driver is driving. He is driving. He has to take so many turns, go from a wide road to a small narrow road. He knows where he has to turn and what is his destination. While he is doing all that, changing the gear and using the steering and all that, he is talking also to people who are in the car. He is not forgetting his aim, where he has to take the car. Is he forgetting? If he forgets, he will meet into an accident. So, we can also do that, and we should do that. That is, we are active. We should not forget what is our aim. And in doing so, remembering that aim, the aim is liberation. And in going forward towards the destination, whatever we have to do, here particularly we are seeing that it is a very simple thing to remember this. God is everywhere. I am God's and God is mine. This simple thought. And there are many things. The identity that I have, that I am a businessman, I am going to maybe the factory. I am a professor, I am going to the college or university to teach. Or a housewife will think, I have to run this house, I have to do this, that. Those things, the identity that one is, whether I am a son, I am a daughter, I am a husband, a wife, I am a professional, or I am a child, all these things we remember. We have to remember that I am a seeker. And as a seeker, my duty is to remember my source, my real identity. So, not only trying to remember God while working, but considering that the work itself has been given by Him. This is also very important. What? Not only we remember Him, not only we remember that I am God's or He is mine, nothing belongs to me. When we do work, what happens? We start feeling that I have done the work, I have done the work. So, not that. Even the work, even the idea of the work, how I will do the work, is by His power alone. Some may be very intelligent, they may be doing the work very effectively, efficiently. And some may not be doing. How these differences come? Why does it come? It is all given by Him only. We may try to do. We should be, that is what last time we had seen, that our attitude should be, whatever comes with whatever faculty, whatever intelligence, whatever strength we have, we should be doing the work to the best of our capability. And being mukta sangha, no clinging. So when we start feeling that not only we remember that I am God's, we also feel that the work is being given by God. There is lot of blessedness. The whole life, the journey of life will become blissful and divine. Why? Because we will feel that I am so blessed that He has given me this. Even when there is an adversity, He will not complain. Because He feels that there is no difference between Him and God. I am His part. So where will He complain? He finds in everything, whether it is good, whether it is bad, whether it is favorable, whether it is not favorable, everywhere one must find God. Because God is everywhere. Yena sarvamidam tatam. He is everywhere, enveloping everything. So with this attitude, when we do any work, if we are able to remember this, my dear children, because we are not habituated, we will not be remembering it. But we have to make a habit. And as we make a habit, what will happen? Our work will become an offering. Every action will become an offering to God. Say spiritual devotional activities. Generally, when we do spiritual and devotional activities, say sitting and worshipping or reading something, doing bhajana and all that, sadhana, bhajana, japa, kirtana, shravana, manana, dhyana, etc. All these things, they will be offering. Bodily activities like talking, eating, seeing, smelling, hearing, walking, sitting, bathing, everything. If we can remember that I am God's, I am God's, I am God's, and everything is given by Him. All that I am doing, my bodily activities, given by Him. That at this time I am doing this is given by Him. That I planned something, it did not happen, some obstacle came, it is given by Him. That something was fulfilled, I was successful in doing, it is given by Him. So initially we have to make a habit by remembering. Mam anusmara, anusmara, sarveshu kaleshu anusmara. Every moment we remember. We are remembering when? When we have to get something from God. So we will go to the temple and give big puja. Oh God, please see to it that what I am wishing is fulfilled. We are remembering Him only at that time. Mostly people. And others who are in spiritual and devotional pursuits, they will remembering morning 2 hours, maybe 1 hour in the evening, lighting the lamp, incense sticks, chanting some stotras, sitting and doing prayer, reading one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they have remembered. That too actually it is not remembered. The mind will be going somewhere else. It's not like that. Getting established into that fact. Just like I never forget that whether I'm a man, I'm a woman, whether how many siblings I have, where is my house, do I ever forget? Like that I am God's, I'll never forget. Never forget. And it can be there because Arjuna is being told by Krishna. And this whole thing is also for us. Only thing we have to practice. So, professional activities, everything becomes a worship then. See, Swamiji had written, I think it is a part of some letter or some, very beautiful. Having a feeling that all one thinks, this is Swamiji's writing, having a feeling that all one thinks, speaks and acts are an offering to the Supreme Omnipresent God, and they conduce to fulfill His mission or purpose, is the real content of surrender. Arpita mano buddhi. What is arpana? Offering or surrender. So, Swamiji has explained it so well. Having a feeling that all one thinks, speaks and acts are an offering to the Supreme Omnipresent God, and they conduce to fulfill His mission or purpose. That is, not only that whatever I think, I speak and I do, it is an offering, and whatever activities we are doing, and through all these things, by our thoughts, our speech and action, what we are doing, we are fulfilling His mission. What is the mission? God has mission. He is making somebody do something, another person do another thing. So whatever mission He has given to me, and every day He is choosing to give me different missions. Whatever work comes, that is what is His mission. I am trying to do it well, excellently, beautifully, joyously. I am trying to do. So then it becomes a surrender, an offering. It is not an act, performance or execution. It is verily an attitude the mind fosters and preserves. See, this is, the mind should foster and preserve that attitude, preserving. Initially we may forget, but then we become established in that. What is that attitude? Attitude is feeling that oneness, whether you call it consciousness, whether you call it God, whether you call it Brahman, everywhere that one is. That presence, one presence everywhere, divine presence everywhere, surrounding you, inside you, everywhere, purifying you. That. So, it is verily an attitude the mind fosters and preserves. By such an attitude, mind and intelligence remain connected to God at all times, in and through whatever one does. So, by such an attitude, mind and intelligence remain connected to God. The mind and intelligence. It is not only singing kirtana, singing bhajana, chanting something. The mind and intelligence have to be applied. This attitude comes to the intelligence and mind. how you take to it, how you do it, how you practice it. See, the next sloka, I think it is 8.7. What is the next sloka? Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya paramam purusham divyam yati parthan anuchintayan. See, this is tasmat sarveshu kaleshu I took 8.7 and this is 8.8. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya paramam purusham divyam yati parthan anuchintayan. By the force of constant thinking and reflection. So we are doing that only. Constant thinking and reflection. Of what? Not that I have offered. No. Understanding that I am the changeless. My real identity is that. And that changeless is God. And devotionally we say, I am God's and God is mine, nothing belongs to me. Everything is created by Him. Everything has emerged from Him, created by Him. He is everywhere. Yena sarvamidam tatam. These feelings, that is, by the force of constant thinking and reflection, by mind and intelligence, constant feeling and reflection, what do we do? When we sit quietly also, when there is no other work, physically we are not doing anything, maybe we have done a lot of work, now there is a little time to rest. Sitting somewhere. Unnecessary thoughts will be crowding the mind. Unnecessary. So, what Krishna is telling? Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Make a habit of constant thinking and reflection. And by that, one attains the supreme divine Purusha, provided such thinking remains exclusive. Na anyagamina. It should be exclusive. It should not go here and there. And we allow our mind to go only here and there. So what is the practice? The practice is that when we think, we start, we'll forget, again bring back, again think, again feel the divinity around you. Feel the divine hands. Feel the magnificence, the greatness. Think about it, reflect on that who is this God? Oh, wherever I see, I just miss, I just don't think. Who has created everything? Even that I'm thinking, my thinking power. Who has given it to me? Like this, when we see. So, abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa na anyagamina. Then, what will happen? One attains the supreme divine Purusha, provided such thinking remains exclusive and the mind takes to it assiduously. Abhyasa. This abhyasa has to be there. Abhyasa yoga. What is abhyasa? It is not said abhyasa alone. Abhyasa yoga. That is, there should be some samatva. What is the samatva? When we start doing abhyasa, say whatever we have discussed, what are we discussing? That we should be thinking like this. Thinking about God. I am God's. God is mine. He is inside me. He is my indweller. He is everything. He has created. This thing, I want to remain in this thought. So I start an abhyasa. I'll forget many times. Let it be. Again, as soon as I again remember, I start thinking like this, reflecting on this, maybe reading something. Again I forget, again I do. But in that, one should not become, whenever one is not being successful in remembering, one should not become hopeless or depressed. That is, success and failure. In abhyasa also, by doing abhyasa, we will actually be going towards success. But as long as we have not reached that destination, we may be falling many times. We should not give up hope. We should not give up the practice. Many people, they say, no, this is not good. So they leave the practice. It will not happen. I will not be able to do it. This is very hard. Oh, my mind goes here and there. Do the practice for some time. Even as children, when we have gone to school and we have started learning maths or whichever subject, we could not learn it just in a day. We had to practice so much, so many sums, so many problems we had to practice. Then only we have learned. Similarly here, this Abhyasa Yoga, this is a very beautiful word. Abhyasa Yoga, that there should be a yoga factor in it. That is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Yoga is Samatvam. It is Samatvam to success and failure. Good, bad. Then favorable, unfavorable. Like that. So, here, while we do Abhyasa, we should not become despondent, we should not become disheartened, we should not become disappointed that, oh, I'm not succeeding at all, oh, how much time it is taking, will I ever reach there? These thoughts should not come. When we have this samatva attitude towards that abhyasa also, abhyasa becomes very interesting. Why the abhyasa becomes very strenuous and why the abhyasa doesn't become interesting is because it doesn't take to the yoga. It should take to this yoga attitude. Okay, I'll try again. Any kind of unsuccessful moment should make us more inspired to try again. Try again with more yearning, more zeal, more enthusiasm. That then it becomes a yoga. So, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa Nanyagamina Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Parthanu Chintayan. So, you see here, this is a very beautiful sloka also. All slokas are beautiful actually. But all are so much connected, so much connected. It just gives us a way, and it has to be, because in the battlefield, Krishna's whole aim is to inspire Arjuna, make him feel energetic again, make him feel very confident, so that he gets up and takes the bow and arrow. So all that he has told, to bring in that power. And that power was what? Whatever Krishna attained, the attainment was such that he would not have any clinging to what he is doing, clinging to the result of what is going to happen. And also, he will be absolutely offered, his mind and buddhi should be offered to the Supreme. That he had tried to completely rely. See, at the end, Krishna is saying, what is that? Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madvyapashraya. He's telling Arjuna that do all work only relying on me. Relying on me. What is this? How does the reliance will come? Even when whatever we are discussing, when we try to do work, we find that we forget everything. We are not able to rely on the Supreme, rely on the providence. We rely on what? We rely on our power, our qualifications, my own intelligence, how I can do the work, my efficiency. And we also rely on money, possessions, bank balance and all that. For many other things. We are only relying on this. People around me. We are only relying on things which will not remain themselves, which will be over, because they are all changeful. We are not relying on the power that I have, my identity, what I am, the power that I have. I'm not relying on that. So at the end, Krishna is telling Arjuna that do all your work relying on the Supreme. Madhyapashraya. Take me as the refuge. Know that the refuge is only that Supreme. My dear children, to think like that, to really do that, practice is necessary, because nobody has told us earlier. Only we have heard that you have to study well. If you study well, you will get a good job. If you get a good job, you will get good salary. If you do well in the job, you will get more salary. If you get more and more money, you will live very happily. All that is true. But all those attainments in life, does it take away sorrow from our mind? Does it take away fear from our mind? Does it take away indecision from my mind? No. All those things cannot give us that. And we become unstable for little things. So, what can give us? We have to pursue that. For that, we have to be making a habit of remembering. Remember and offer. Remember and offer. Mai arpita mano buddhi. And then he says, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya-gamina. See to it that your mind, even if it goes away, bring it back. Na anya-gamina. Your mind should not be more towards the world and whatever world has to offer you. Depend more on your own indweller. Depend more on God. Depend more on your own self. And make it a habit. And this habit should be a abhyasa yoga. Then you will attain that Parama Purusha, Divya, who is the most divine and the supreme Purusha. You will attain that. Attain that. So, acha. So, when the mind is fixed in God, the mind turns away from the world. When we are trying to do Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, we are trying to fix the mind in God. The mind turns away from worldliness as we try to fix it on God, thinking about His greatness, about His divinity, about His power, about the protection and security, on the sublimity that we can get thinking about Him. So the mind turns away from all other things in the world. And when intelligence is fixed on God, the mind does not rely on God, does not rely on the world anymore. It starts relying on God. I just now spoke to you that we are relying on so many things which are perishables. So when the intelligence, Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi, so when the mind is offered to God or fixed on God, what will happen? Mind will definitely turn away from the worldliness. The little and big happinesses that the world was giving, it will not find it enjoyable anymore, because it has started thinking about God, loving God, liking God, thinking about God. So naturally those things as a duty one will be doing. But it will find it useless to keep on thinking on useless matters. And when the buddhi is fixed on God, arpita, offered, then what will happen? The buddhi, then one will not rely on the world anymore. It will rely on God. Because by buddhi one will introspect and find out that everything is transitory from all the things of the world to which our senses are constantly getting attracted. We can get only short-term pleasure, which will come and go, will be over in no time. Even if it stays for a long duration, it will be over one day. The body will decay, the body will have disease, so there will not be even any chance to enjoy. So the intelligence, while the intelligence it does introspection, it starts understanding the importance of taking refuge to the Lord, taking refuge to the Supreme, and not relying on the world, but relying on the Supreme Power. Now, there is only 7 minutes, so I will teach you another shloka, in which last time I had told you that shloka, Atmatvam girijamatihi sahachara prana shariram griham pujate vishayopabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarvagiro yadyat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. That is, a devotee is speaking and calling out to Lord Shambho that everything, whatever I do, I find it to be an aradhana, your worship. And he has described the shloka, what his feelings are, what his emotions are. He is saying that. A similar shloka is there, which I chant every day at the end of my talk. So this is from Dhanyashtakam. Sampurnam jagadeva nandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha gangam vari samasta vari nivaha punyas samasta kriyaha vachah prakrita samskrita shruti shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani. It's a beautiful shloka, which says, Parabrahmani drishti, to the one who has realized Brahman in all aspects. Brahman is everywhere. So see, Brahman, Paramatma, God, it's all the same. This is Advaya Jnanam, same. So here this shloka is saying, to the one who has realized Brahman in all aspects, Sampurnam Jagat Nandanavanam Eva. So for such a person, it is all one. So he has no difference. The whole thing becomes divine. Wherever he looks, through whatever senses he perceives, he finds everything divine, everything sublime, everything pure. And so, Sampurnam Jagat, it is like Nandanavana, like the heavenly garden. Why it is said like this? Because we have a feeling when we think of God, there is a feeling of divinity, a purity. We want to feel that divinity and purity, the sublimity, always. When we are in that atmosphere, in those kind of thoughts, or in such associations, we feel like that. But when we go back to our daily work, everyday work, we lose that. We want to remain in that atmosphere or remain in that kind of bhava, feeling that. So, when one realizes Brahman, everything becomes divine. So the whole Jagat, the world, becomes like a heavenly garden. Sarvepi kalpadrumaha, where whatever trees and everything we see, it's as if they are wish fulfilling trees. Gangam vari samastavari nivahaha. And all the water, every water seems like Gangam vari, as if they are pure Ganges water, Ganga Jal. We feel that when we are using the only tap water or other water, we don't feel that that is pure. We go specially to either Ganges or Jamuna or any other river, thinking that that water is a very pure Punya water. So we feel that we are having a dip in a holy river. But when one realizes Brahman, everything becomes holy, everything becomes pure. Gangam vari samastavari nivahaha. All the water which is flowing is like Ganges water. Punyaha samastah kriyaha. And all the activities that one does, those are all noble acts, holy acts. So, even small things will be done in a worshipful manner. How it will be? He has realized Brahman. So his mind and buddhi is reposed in Brahman or God. His mind never falls from that kind of a feeling. So any activity, yatraiva mano madiyam, tatraiva tavasvarupam. So whatever activity he does, he is as if doing aradhana and worship. Punyaha samastaha kriyaha. He will not be able to do anything bad. Vacha prakrita samskritaha shruti shiro. And whatever he talks, whether he talks simple worldly things or whatever he talks refined things, he feels that everything is the words, everything is the word of the scriptures. There is holiness associated with it. Varanasi Medini. And everywhere we go, wherever we go, everywhere, the earth, in whichever place it is, we need not go to Varanasi to go to a holy place, holy pilgrim spot. Everywhere it is Varanasi. Why? Because he finds the divinity and holiness there. Everywhere it. And sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya drishte parabrahmani. Every thought of awareness of his reveals to him only Brahman. So through all his awareness, everything, he will be feeling only Brahman, revelation of Brahman everywhere. Revelation of Brahman everywhere means what? He will be surrounded by that divinity, feeling that divinity and that. So we'll chant this sloka so that you can learn this sloka. Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi kalpadrumaha Gangam vari samastavari nivahaha Sing in scale. It's going out of scale. Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam.
Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam.
Sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha.
Punyas samasta kriyaha.
Punyas samasta kriyaha.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro.
Varanasi medini.
Varanasi medini.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya.
Drishte parabrahmani.
Drishte parabrahmani.
I'll just say the full line. Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha. Punyas samasta kriyaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha. Punya samasta kriyaha.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro. Varanasi medini.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro. Varanasi medini.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya. Drishte parabrahmani.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya. Drishte parabrahmani.
Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam sarvepi kalpadrumaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha. Punyas samasta kriyaha.
Gangam vari samastavari nivaha. Punya samasta kriyaha.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro. Varanasi medini.
Vacha prakrita samskrita shruti shiro. Varanasi medini.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya. Drishte parabrahmani.
Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya. Drishte parabrahmani.
So, what we discussed today is how this mind and buddhi should be fixed on God, thinking what I am God's and God is mine. That is the one duty of any seeker. One duty. First of all, we must feel that I am a seeker, and then this is my duty. To constantly try and make an abhyasa of bringing back the mind and through intelligence, reflecting over the truth and see what is permanent and what is transitory, why, what is God, why I should fix my mind and intelligence. And when one does so, automatically there is an offering of everything to God. And this has to be done repeatedly. Okay, Jai Guru.